record because Liana's not here today. So we are on page 163. 163. 163. Okay. So today we're reviewing again, which is nice. Oh, there you are, Christopher. Tilt your screen down so I can see your face. A little bit more, okay? So I can see you better. Yeah, good. Thank you. Page 163. We're talking about quotation marks. Now, you know about those. That's when somebody's speaking in a story. But there's some rules about these quotation marks that I want to go over with you. So it says quotation marks indicate words that are spoken. The quote is the sentence in the quotation marks. That's what's actually being said in the story. The attribution, you guys probably remember that word. The attribution is the person speaking and the speaking verb. So here's an example. The princess cried, "My nose has grown too long." So the attribution may come before the quoted sentence. So right here, the attribution is the princess cried. Remember, it's who's speaking and how they're saying it. So she's crying, but not like a boo-hoo cry, but like a yelling out cry, like "my nose has grown too long." She's freaking out, right? So that's the attribution first. Then you need a comma and then the quote. Here it says, "My nose has grown too long," the princess cried. So they reversed those two, right? They switched them. So here the quote is first, but you still need a comma in between. So the comma goes here, and then the attribution, the princess cried. Here it says, "My nose," the princess cried, "has grown too long." So here they split up what she said. They have put the first part here, "my nose," she says that, she cries out that. And then the attribution is in the middle. So notice there's a comma here after nose and a comma after cried, and then the rest of her quote. So that's another way you can write a quote, okay? You can split it up. Regardless of where the attribution comes in relation to the quoted sentence, capitalization and punctuation rules remain the same. Place quotation marks around the words that are spoken, not the attribution. Capitalize the first word of the quoted sentence. Just like any other sentence, you're going to use a capital letter at the beginning. And then it says capitalize the first word of the attribution only if it begins the sentence. And that's the example way up here. The attribution begins here. So you need a capital T for that. It's the beginning of the sentence. Okay. Answer these questions orally, it says. What are the attributions in the following sentences? So I'm going to start with Christopher. "My nose still looks terrible," she cried. So what is the attribution in that sentence right there?
She cried.
Good. So she is probably the princess, right? She. And then how she said it, she cried. She's yelling out. And then this one's for Olivia. "Princess," her father directed, "just return the gifts." What's the attribution in that sentence?
Her father directed.
Good, very good. Because he's the one speaking and directed is how he's saying it. And then the last one here for Lacey, it just says, what part of the quoted sentence must be capitalized? Do you remember what part is capitalized? When do you use a capital letter?
The very first letter.
Good.
Little thing.
The first letter, okay, so I think you're trying to say like the first letter of the quoted sentence, right? And if the attribution comes first, that letter is also capitalized. So you're right. Good job, Lacey. At the beginning. Any questions about this page? Nope, good. Go to page 165. And then Mariah, I'm going to have you read the sentences today.
The next day, the princess' long nose was worse. She was surprised that the apple didn't help her.
Poor princess. She's having a rough day. Hopefully she figures this out. The vocabulary is worse. That just means like in poorer health than before. So it's just getting bad, right, for her. So her long nose was worse, meaning it was getting longer and longer, and she's desperate now to get some help. All right, there's 3 articles. Go ahead and find those and mark those by yourself. And then, Christopher, where are the 3 nouns?
They,
Good.
princesses,
Actually, because this has an apostrophe right here, that makes it an adjective. Okay, so princesses is not a noun in this one.
nose,
Nose is a noun. Good.
apple,
There you go. So day, nose, and apple, those are the nouns. And then Olivia, what about the pronouns?
she and her.
Good. She and her. Sometimes her is an adjective. Like if it said her nose, then that would be an adjective describing whose nose. But because it's here by itself, it didn't, the apple didn't help her. You're right, it is a pronoun. So very good. Now there's 5 adjectives, Lacey. You get the big one. Where are all the adjectives?
Next,
Good.
long,
Long, good.
surprised,
Yep. Surprised is one too. Good.
and help.
That's going to be a verb, so not help. But whose long nose was it?
Her long nose,
Right here.
princesses,
Yeah. So remember how Christopher thought that was a noun for a second, but then we decided it's an adjective because it's telling whose long nose. It's the princess's long nose. So if it tells whose, that means it's an adjective. And then there's another word on here that tells how she feels or how the nose is
first,
worse. There you go. So that is also an adjective. So we've got princesses, long, worse, surprised. That's 1, 2, 3. Oh, and next, 5. Okay. How about the that clause, Mariah? Where's the that clause?
Next to surprise.
Starts there. Where does it end?
Her.
Good. All the way at the end. So we're just going to write that above it. And then, Christopher, what about the subject verb pairs? Looking for verbs first here.
help,
Help is a verb. Yep.
was,
Good. There's a couple more.
didn't,
Yeah, so the did part of didn't is a verb. And then there's one more.
the was before surprise.
Good, Christopher. Yep. Now you have all the verbs. So tell us what the subjects are, Christopher. What subject, what are we talking about here? What was worse? Wait, say it again.
The nose,
Her nose, that's the subject. And then how about who was surprised?
he,
Good. And then inside the that clause, what didn't help her? What was the subject there?
the apple,
The apple. There you go. So we have the subject knows that goes with was worse. She is the subject here, was surprised. And then it was the apple that didn't help her. Excellent. Okay, so we have two capitals, Olivia. Where did those go?
The T and the S and she.
Good. Okay. The end mark is just a period, but Lacey, where does the apostrophe go?
And the didn't.
In didn't. You're right. Right here between the N and the T. That was bugging me. It was missing. Now it's complete.
There's something that was like apostrophe S. I was like, what? Like apostrophe S. It sounds
Usually it's apostrophe S, but this time it's right here for didn't. Okay. Any questions about this page?
No?
If not, just shake your head no. Okay, I see that. Good. So your homework will be the next 3 pages, which is pages 166, 167, and 168. All right. And now you can get out your binders. Go ahead and get everything out of your front pocket. Yeah, I know there's a pink page in there in your front pocket that has ly adverbs. Keep that in there if it's in there. But everything else you can take out about tortoises. The nice thing is that report was really only 1 paragraph long. So you're already done with your report about tortoises. Now, I know that, let's see, check something here. Go ahead and put away everything about tortoises except this. Oh, wait, sorry, hold on. There's 2 things. This pink list should already be in your pocket or taped up somewhere by where you work. But did you guys notice there's another pink list here?
Yes.
So you have 2 pink pages now. I wanted to look at this one because we didn't get a chance to last week. Another great list of ly adverbs. I'm so happy because sometimes I get stuck on the same ones. Like I tend to use surprisingly or something like that over and over and over again. This is great. Look how it's categorized in different categories, like importance here. If it's something really important, you can use one of these ly words. If it's something that's telling how often, you can use one of these ly words. If it's something that's commonly used, use these ly words. How likely, emotion, these are emotions like sadly and hopefully, those are all emotions related. And then you have extras over here under use. So another great list. So now you have 2 pink lists. I want you to keep both of these, either tape them up on the wall by where you work or keep them in your front pocket. Don't put these away yet. Okay, you're going to keep these out. And then the rest of about the tortoises, there is this yellow page here. Remember this one? And we don't really need to use this, but I want you to put this away behind the model charts and outlines tab in your binder. So put that there first. So it's going to be this tab that says right here, model charts and outlines. That's where all the yellow pages go. So behind all the yellow pages that are in there, go ahead and put that yellow page in there. And please don't forget to close your rings. It's really important. Don't go too fast because sometimes people forget that part. So once you put away the yellow page, then you can put the rest of the stuff you have for tortoises. Put that behind finished compositions, and you can put your keyword outlines back there and all the articles and everything. Lacey, did you have a question?
I didn't really finish the desert tortoise yet.
Okay, So you can keep it out if you need to.
Okay.
Is that your question? Okay, sorry. I think I interrupted you, but yeah, you don't have to put it away yet. Then you can wait till you're done. And that's true for anybody else. If you didn't get to finish your report or your paragraph on tortoises yet, you can keep it out. All right, the rest of you can put it away. And then we're going to go to the source text tab again at the front here. And you're going to get out week 18, People of the Desert. Make sure you close your rings between all this stuff, okay? So you don't have things falling out. And there's going to be a bunch of papers here. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 papers for week 18. So get all 5 of those out. Close your rings up. And then there's one more thing that you need to get out of your binder. And in the very, very, very back pocket, not the front pocket, but the back pocket, make sure you close your rings. I hear those clicking. That's good. Close your rings. In the very, very, very back pocket, you're going to see a big piece of white paper like this folded. And you need one of those. It's big. So when you open it up, it's like a big piece of white paper. Just one of those. And then when you have all that out, make sure you close your rings up and give me a thumbs up. Good. I see that, Mariah. Good, Lacey. So all of week 18, People of the Desert, which is 5 pages. And then you need a big page from the back. I bet you've been wondering what those are there for, huh? Yeah. Well, we're going to find out today.
It's like really big.
Yeah. This is going to help us with some outlines that we're going to work on today. Okay. I think Christopher had to go get his mom or something, so. Oh, here he comes. Oh, good. You got your paper, Christopher? Okay. Hold up your paper like this so it's wide, okay? And then what you're going to fold it like this, and I call this the taco fold. Here, let me show you. It goes this way. So it's not very tall this direction. This is what we call the taco fold. And try your best. It does not have to be perfect, but try to get it pretty close so that it's even. But you're going to fold it like this and then hold it up. You're right, Lacey. That's good. Like this first. Just folding it in half. And once you get it folded, hold it up so I can see it. Good. I see that. Oh, you got a little piece, huh? Open yours up. Actually, open yours all the way up, Christopher. I don't think you did it right. Like all the way up. Oh, is it a printer paper? Okay. Then yours will be small, but that's okay. Okay, good. And then hold yours up, Mariah. Now, oh, you're going to fold it in thirds, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. You have it, Mariah? I just want to make sure you folded it the right way. Okay, so you don't have a big one either? Okay. So you're going to fold it in thirds, and you're going to go past the halfway part. And then look how this side goes on top of that. Okay, let me show you again. So it's going to go past halfway, and then this side goes on top. So when you're done, it looks like a square. Past the halfway fold there, go a little bit past that. And then the other side goes on top of that. So that's folding it into thirds. It looks like a square by the time you're done, okay? Yeah, that looks pretty good, Mariah. I think you got it. So fold it past the halfway and then over the top of that. Okay, good, good. I see that. Yeah, that looks good. So when you open it all the way up, you're gonna like ignore that middle crease there, but you should have 6 boxes, 1, 2, 3 on top and 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. I know there's a middle crease there, but you'll have to kind of ignore that. So open it up. Let me share my screen this way. So it looks like this. You got a square here, one in the middle. You're going to ignore that middle crease there, but this should be a square. 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that what you guys have? Okay, so Christopher, you have too many squares. You only need 3 on top and 3 on the bottom. So I think you folded it too many times, actually. Lacey?
It looks weird because in the middle, it looks like there's like 8.
Yeah, are you
There's,
looking at this line right here in the middle?
yeah, it looks sort of funny. And it's like,
Yeah,
right?
you have to kind of ignore that one. So that, okay, Christopher, are you getting another piece of paper? Okay. Let me see yours, Mariah. Open yours up so I can see yours. Yeah, yours is correct. Good job. Okay. Now, on your paper, I just want you to start by on the upper left side here, this part got folded here. At the top of this box, I want you to put a capital A with a box around it like that. Okay, Christopher. So your first step is to fold it like this, like a taco. You had that part right. And now you're gonna fold one side past the halfway mark. So you're gonna fold here. Do that fold first. Not that far. There, like that. Yes. Yes. Now make a crease. And then the other side goes on top of that. Yes. I think you got it that time. Yes, good, Christopher. That's it. Good job. And then we're on the upper left-hand box right here. And I want you to write a Roman numeral 1 right here. This is where we're going to put our outlines this time. So we have A, and then we have a Roman numeral 1, and then I want you to put 1 through 5, but make sure you spread them out a little bit. Don't scrunch them up too much. Kind of make some space between. So you're going to move over a little bit, put 1 through 5, and then 4 and 5 are going to have parentheses around them like that. That's because we want to make sure to have 3 facts. But if there's 4 or 5 facts that you really like and you want to put them in your outline, you can, but these are optional, okay? You have to have 3, but you can have 4 and 5 if you find other things, but not 6. It has to stop there, okay? So we have an A at the top with a box. We have Roman numeral 1, and then move over a little bit here and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 and 5 are in parentheses. Give me a thumbs up when you got that down. Good. Good. Excellent. Move to the middle. This one's going to be a capital B with a box. And then we're still going to do Roman numeral 1. Okay, don't write Roman numeral 2 because this is still Roman numeral 1 like that. Looks like an I. And then move over a little bit underneath that. And again, we're going to do 1 through 5 like that. Make sure you spread them out. Don't put them too close together. And then 4 and 5 is in parentheses. Give me a thumbs up once you got that. I see that. Good. Good. Okay, I see that. Awesome. And you probably guessed it. We have one more to do. Over here, we're going to do the letter C with a box around it. And again, Roman numeral 1. Again, these are all Roman numeral 1. And then move over a little bit and put your 5 again here. Make sure you spread them out, not too close together. Good. I see that, Mariah. Thumbs up when you got that one. Good. Okay. So now there's one more thing we're going to put on here. And we talked about this last time when you wrote about tortoises. But in the bottom box here, right under B, in the box underneath that, I want you to write fused outline. And then you're going to underline it like that. Fused outline. That's right under the B in this box below. And then the same thing, I'm going to have you put a Roman numeral 1 over here on the edge, Roman numeral 1. But this time you're going to write 1 through 6 like this and make sure you spread them out. So move over a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kind of spread them out like that. I like to put dots next to my numbers, but you don't have to. On the others, I didn't. And this time we're not going to use any parentheses. So this is going to be Roman numeral 1. Move over a little bit and do 1 through 6. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you got that. Awesome. Good. And yours is good, Olivia?
Mhm.
Okay, good. So now we're all set. This is we've got it all ready for our outlines. And remember when you guys wrote about tortoises, we only had 2 articles. Well, guess what? Now we have 3 articles to look at today. So let's look for the first article. This is about people of the desert. And the first one is this one. It says source text 18.1, and it's on page 153. We just got this out, so it should be out of your binder. And it's called Nomadic Peoples of the Sahara Desert. Nomadic Peoples of the Sahara Desert. Okay. Now, have you guys ever heard the word nomad before? Some of you are saying yes, and some of you are saying no. Does anybody remember what nomad means? Do you know what it means, Lacey? Okay. So a nomad is a person who does not really have a home. It's not like they're homeless, not like, when you see people in town that are just walking around on the street, but these people travel all the time and they don't have a home like where they can come home to and go to their own bed and go into the kitchen and have their own refrigerator full of food. These nomads travel. It's almost like hiking. If you've ever been on a hiking trip before and you carry your food with you and you carry your sleeping bag, it's like that, but that's what they do all the time. They don't have a home to go to, so they travel all the time. And there's not very many of these people, but they are in certain parts of the world, like the Sahara Desert. There are people who just travel all the time and they walk or they ride a camel.
If we're
Or
traveling right now.
yeah, like even right now while we're having class somewhere in the world, there's a nomad. And these nomads think of no home. When you think of nomad, think of no home. But that's the life they want to live. It's different than like a homeless person. But they they do travel and from place to place, and they just lay down, their sleeping bag, and they just sleep wherever, and they figure out their food along the way and things like that. So that's what we're going to learn about, these interesting people. And so what I'm going to do next is read this article. Oh, I forgot to tell you. At the very top, I want you to write an A with a box around it like that on your article, because that A is going to match this A. The A's are going to go together. Okay, so the information we read here is going to go under A. Okay. The other thing I want you to do is, do you see that word that starts with a B right here? It's right in the first sentence. It's called Bedouin, I think is how you pronounce it, Bedouin. Circle that word Bedouin. Bedouin. I think it's Bedouin. I was saying it wrong, Bedouin. And then in the second paragraph, there is a word that starts with a T, and it says Tuareg. And I want you to circle that word too. Those are two different types of nomadic people. Those are nomads. They're the ones that don't have a home, that travel and live different places all the time. And so these two paragraphs are about two different types of people here. So today we're going to focus only on this one, the Bedouin nomads. Okay, we're going to read about the Tuareg next week. So what I'm going to do is just read that first paragraph, and you guys get your pen or your pencil ready to underline the things that you think are interesting or important about these people. Okay, so I'll read it, and I'm going to help you underline some things too. In the Sahara Desert of Africa, the Bedouin nomads. And I'm going to underline just the Sahara Desert of Africa. That tells me where they are. That's important to know. A nomad is a member of a people or tribe that moves from place to place. And I'm going to underline that part right there, moves from place to place. So have you heard the word tribe before? You ever heard that word before? Tribe? Yeah. Sometimes we hear about those tribes when you're talking about like the American Indians or the Native Americans. There's tribes. Yep. So it's like that, but they're not Indians. These are in the Sahara Desert. So they're a different type of culture in Africa. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Bedouins have traditionally survived by raising herds, camels, goats, and sheep. So I'm going to underline raising herds, camels, goats, and sheep. So they raise these animals. However, these nomads stay in the valleys during winter to plant crops. Okay, I'm gonna wait on that. I'm not gonna underline that yet because I only need 3 to 5s, and I already have 1, 2, 3 things. So I'm gonna wait on that next one. They move to the highland pastures during summer. I'm gonna keep going. If there is plenty of grass for the animals, the Bedouins' winter camps might consist of 3 to 15 tents. I think that's interesting. I'm actually going to underline that 3 to 15 tents. That's a lot of tents, right? I'm underlining between winter camps might consist of 3 to 15 tents. Bedouin groups make their tents out of black goat hair. Interesting. I'm going to underline that. The tents only have a few things like pillows, carpets, goat hair mats, and cushions. I think I got to underline that too. I have too many, but we're going to have to pick and choose what facts we're going to use. Bedouins are always on the move, so they cannot have too many heavy items to carry on their journeys. That makes sense because you have to carry everything you own. So you don't want to carry like a refrigerator with you or a microwave or something like that. That's going to be too heavy. Plus, you don't have a place to plug it in. So that wouldn't work. So you can only carry light things, things that aren't too heavy. All right. I'm going to wait on the second paragraph. We're just focusing on the Bedouins here. So now we have some things underlined. So this is when we're going to start transferring these facts to your outline. So get your outline ready in front of you here. Remember, A goes with A. And for Roman numeral 1, I want you to write the Bedouin because that's what our topic is for Roman numeral 1. So copy that word Bedouin. That's the name of these nomads. And I'm going to put comma nomads. And Sahara, because these are in the Sahara Desert. And that tells us we've already got that first, fact here. We put it in the Roman numeral 1, so that works. So we have Bedouin, nomads, and Sahara. And now we can move on to the next fact here, which is moves from place to place. So we could put moves, place, and then draw an arrow place. That just means they move around. They don't have a place that they stop and live forever. They go probably stay 1 night or 2 nights or maybe 3 nights. And then they pack up their stuff and they keep going. They walk or they ride a camel. They move from place to place. And then the next fact that we underlined was about raising herds. They raise these animals. So I'm just going to put that word raise, and then I'm going to choose 2 of the animals. We have camels, goats, and sheep. So you can pick which 2. You don't have to put all of them. I'm going to put camels and goats, but you put whatever 2 animals that you want to put. Because remember, our rule is still the same. We can only have 3 keywords. If you want to draw a little sheep, you can. Or draw a camel or a goat. That's okay with me. All right. I'm going to move down. Let's see. I only need 3, but I can have 4 or 5. I think I'm going to skip this one about winter camps consists of 3 to 15 tents. I mean, it's kind of interesting, but I really like how they make their tents out of black goat hair. That's interesting. So what I'm going to do here is draw a little tent. I'm going to try. And you guys probably are better at this than me. Put a little line there. Draw a tent if you can. And then I'm going to put black goat hair. So they make their tents out of black goat hair. That's the zipper on the tent right here.
Is there a way to abbreviate black?
You could put BLK for black. Yep, that's a good question. And then I do want to add this one because I think it's interesting that they carry these things. pillows, carpets, goat hair mats, and cushions. If we only have room for 3 words, so I'm just going to pick 3 of those things, or however you want to put it on your outline. You can change that. I'm going to put pillows, carpets, and cushions. That's what they have inside the tent. The tents only have a few things: pillows, carpets, and cushions. And then I'm going to stop there. Remember, 4 and 5 are optional. I added 4, but I'm not going to worry about 5. Okay, thumbs up when you got that done. I see that. Good. Okay. Did you get it, Olivia? Okay. And then Mariah, are you good? Okay. So now we're going to stop with A. So you can set that aside now. And next, you're going to get out. The next article is this one. This one's called African Nomads. It says source text 18.2. So we're going to look at this one next.
Do we put a B at the top?
Yes, you're right. I was just going to tell you to do that. I think you see the pattern now. So at the very top, we're going to call this B. Whoops. Let me move that down so you can see that. So African Nomads, this is page 155. This is going to be B, and you guessed it, B goes with B. They go together. So now we're going to work on the second part of this. And again, it's talking about the same nomads. So I want you to circle that word Bedouin and circle the word Tuareg down here in the second paragraph, because I wanted you to see that each paragraph talks about a different nomad. And today we're only focusing on the Bedouin one. Okay, so now again, I'm going to read and I'm going to suggest what to underline this time about the Bedouins. We're only going to read that first paragraph. Oh, Lacey?
Did you know that there's pictures behind these pages?
Oh, I didn't turn the other one over. Oh, this one does. Yep. There we go. This is the, look at that. There's no trees or buildings or cars or any animals. It's like literally the desert with nothing, nothing, nothing out there. That's crazy, huh? And it kind of looks hot to me, and I'm sure it is because the desert is very hot, but that's what they look like. They even have a little kid with them. I think it would be hard to be a nomad. That would be a difficult life. You know, you don't have a place to go home to. But it might be kind of fun at the same time because you're always on like an adventure. So thank you, Lacey. And there was one on the back of the other one too. Oh, there was, huh? I should have had you guys turn it over on the back here. This is the first one we looked at. It's not a clear picture, but you can get the idea of how they have their tents set up there. Interesting, huh? Totally different life than what we have. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and read. This is African nomads, okay? This is the second article. Bedouin nomads live in the Sahara Desert. We already have that information, so I'm not going to underline that one yet. During the summer, they migrate, living in black goat hair tents. Okay, we already talked about that. In the winter, they stay in the valleys. That might be good to underline. Winter stay in the valleys. Some prefer to live under canopies that can be completely closed when it is cold. All right, I'm going to put some prefer to live in canopies. Do you know what a canopy is? Yeah, that's basically like a pop-up. If you ever use one of those for games, I know you guys talked about softball earlier. When your mom comes and watches you guys, sometimes they put up a pop-up or a canopy like that. It just has a cover on top, but no sides to it. Okay. The Bedouin eat mostly dairy, dates, and rice. Interesting. I'm going to underline that. Dairy, dates, and rice. I mean, I like those things, but I don't know about every day. That'd be kind of boring. Using the stars in the clear desert skies to guide them, these nomads travel at night. Ah. Stars, I'm going to underline that part. Stars in the clear desert skies guide them. Travel at night. I'm going to underline that too. Why do you think they would travel at night? Olivia?
Maybe because no one would really see them.
Maybe. That's a good thought. What do you think, Lacey?
So it's not really hot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because we read about Sahara Desert a while back. You guys remember that? About the camels and stuff? It gets really hot, like 120, 130 degrees outside. So it's like miserable. I'm thinking when you're walking and traveling, you're exerting energy. And so it's probably even hotter, you know? So, but it could be so nobody sees them too. I mean, who knows? Okay, I'm going to keep going. They are so accurate that they often are often asked to help find lost tourists in the desert. Kind of interesting, but I'm going to keep going. The Bedouin use camels to carry their possessions and horses to carry themselves. Ooh, I'm going to underline camels and horses. So they don't ride the camels carry the stuff. When we remember back when we studied about the camels, and they can carry a lot of weight. That makes sense. So they probably carry their food and their tents and stuff like that. Olivia?
Well, when in Unit 5, when we were writing from pictures, well, there was that camel in the tent.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he was a nomad. And
Maybe
that
he
his
was. Good thinking, Olivia. Maybe he was. Maybe he was a nomad and he was just there and then his camel. That was funny. Yes, I remember that. That's a good one. Okay, I'm going to keep going. This nomadic group has more than 160 words for camel. Interesting. Depending on the camel size, age, and gender. Remember, gender is if it's a boy or a girl. So let's underline that. That's kind of interesting. 160 words for the word camel. Huh. And then maybe that second part, depending on the camel's size, age, and gender. Most families only have a few camels, but the chiefs own more than 1,000. Whoa. Okay, I gotta underline that one too. I think we have too many, but we're gonna have to pick and choose. It's interesting stuff in here. All right. Now, got that underlined. Now we're gonna transfer these facts to B because we're working on B next here. So let's see. We have here in the winter, they stay in the valleys. I mean, that was interesting, but we have some better stuff that we found. So I'm going to skip that one. Okay. And then some prefer to live under canopies. Yeah, that was kind of interesting, but I think what they eat is actually more interesting to me. So this is how I decide what facts to put. Okay. And that word eat is a banned word, but it's okay to use it in our notes here for our outline. But when you go to write, it is a banned word, right? Let me double check.
Yeah.
It is. Okay. Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, first we need to actually put for Roman numeral 1, we need to copy this part here, Bedouin, nomads, and Sahara. So go ahead and copy that here. Bedouin, this is our topic. Nomads, and then the word Sahara. That goes next to Roman numeral 1. And then for the word eat, I'm actually going to draw a little Pac-Man face. There, that looks like Pac-Man. That's going to be eat. And then I'm going to list those things. So dairy, that means like milk and stuff like that. Dairy, dates, rice. By the way, can they carry a jug of milk with them when they travel, you think?
Yeah.
Did somebody say something? Olivia?
Yeah, I think they could.
Well, the only thing, and Lacey said no, I kind of agree with Lacey because the only thing about milk is you have to keep it cold, right? Or else it goes
Well,
bad.
they do make cold packs these days that to keep your things cold.
That's true.
Or like a Yeti cup.
Oh, Yeti
You put
cup.
ice in it and then keep it cold.
Hopefully they have a Yeti cup. It didn't look like it in those pictures, though. How do you think what's another way they could get their milk, though? How
They
could they
could
bring
put
their
it
milk with them?
in a lunchbox and put an ice pack in there and put it on the camel.
Maybe. Any other ideas? Well, I think they probably take the cow with them or the goat with them, right? That has milk.
Oh
They
yeah.
probably actually take the animal that has the milk with them, and then when they want milk, they just milk it into a cup or something and drink it that way. I don't know. I'm
It
thinking,
must be hot though if they just
I
pull it
know.
right.
It's a good thought, Olivia. It's probably hot. You're right. You can't get cold milk from a cow directly. Okay, and then the next thing we have here is stars in the desert skies to guide them, and they travel at night. I think that's kind of interesting. Well, we can draw a star. They use the stars. I'm going to put the word use and then a star like that, or you can draw a star however you do that to guide them at night. Well, that's when they travel. I might want that word travel, and then maybe for night I can draw a moon. There we go. They use the stars as a guide to travel at night. I just drew a little moon shape there. Okay, so I'm gonna pick one. I know we're a little bit late here. Actually, let's finish this next week. Okay. This is kind of a new thing for you. What I want you to do for your homework though is finish writing down your facts from this one right here. And then next week we'll go on to C. So all you have to do is finish writing your facts here under B, and then we'll go on to C next week. Does that make sense? Lacey, did you have a question?
Real quick, can we talk about the E8? Because we never did.
We never did, and we're totally out of time. Oh my goodness. This is like the fourth time in a row I forgot about that.
Maybe we should put like on one of the papers like mixture or no uh E8. Go over E8.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about that. Let's put it, where can we put it? Let's put it let's put it up here. Oh, I know. Let's put it under C in the box down here. Talk about eat 8. That's a good idea, Lacey. Give myself a note. I'm gonna put a little star here. Talk about eat 8. That's gonna be under C. And we all have that note. So hopefully I will remember to talk about it next week. But your homework this week is just to finish B right here. Finish up B, and then we'll do C together next week and the fused outline together next week, okay? Any other? Okay, Olivia, I see your hand there.
E and 8,
Yeah.
they're all the same letters, just spelled differently.
Oh yeah, you're right. They're kind of rearranged in the word. That's cool. All right, you guys. That's it for today. Good job. I
I
will
want
see you next week.
to show my niece.
Yeah, more news?
Okay. Yeah, this is my niece.